Page 14, Autumn Moods. Now, I'm going through my procedure to learn a new piece of music, so this is sort of how I do it. I look it over, it's 2 pages long, treble and bass clef. There's 1 sharp in the key signature. I'm in the key of G major, sort of. I mean, it ends on an E minor chord, but G major. Make sure you can do the scales for G major and E minor, because those are the 2 scales that have 1 sharp in the key signature. Should be doing them 2 octaves up and down too. 4/4 time signature. I'm going to take it 1 hand at a time and make sure I understand what each hand is doing. Right hand, you're here. Start 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Cross off. Not too hard, I think. Pretty straightforward, actually. Let's go over to measure 29 toward the end. You're 1, 2, just crossing over for 1 hand, or for 1. You're crossing over for 1 note. I know what I'm doing here. And then again, and then again. Now, the last 3 measures. They got you doing 1, 5. I don't recommend it. Do 1, 4, then a 5, then a 4. If you can't, the hand's big enough, do a 1, 3. I want to connect that here. So if your hand's big enough. If not, then you're going to have to do a 1, 5 here. But if you can, 1, 3, and then the left hand plays that last note. That's what the LH is for. Left hand's picking up. Now in the 3rd measure, I recommend a 3-1. Just come down 3-1, and then a 4-1. This way your 5th finger's ready to go. That's what I'm after. You're gonna get that some more, 2, 3. When I first put the hands together, all I want to know is how does it feel, the fingers in each hand working together or whatever. So I'm hesitating all over, I don't care. I just trying to get this, and then this is together. See this and this, they're not together. Let's go to the measure 17. 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 1. Left hand over, and I connect everything. We'll do the articulation later. Measure 21. It's an F natural. And then B. Oh goody. And on measure 24, I use 2nd finger there, keep my hand out here. But you can use thumb on the F sharp if you want. And you're back to what you were doing at the beginning. Once I have the hands put together, then I go back through it all a few 100 times and I get rid of the hesitation. So it's a steady beat. I keep it slow, but steady beat. And then I think about the articulation. Well, this is all pretty connected. I'm going to lift up between the phrases. So at the end of the 1st line, you're here. When you get a rest, you have to lift up. But at the end of the 2nd line, you're here. Here, lift up. So just a little, it's like taking a breath. So on measure 8, I'm here. I'm lifting up here. I'm connecting the left hand. I suggest you connect the left hand. So I'm lifting up here, I'm keeping that down. Lift up, I'm keeping that down though. So I'm connecting the left hand, I'm lifting up in the right hand for the phrases. Then I add the dynamics, and that applies to the melody here. Mezzo piano, moderately soft. This. That 1st note, being the 1st note of the piece, got to be strong enough to be heard, but not just soft. It's under. The melody, it needs to be clear to the listener. This is not melody. It's not all melody. That 1st note is the melody's in the upper staff, and you're staying at moderately soft, more or less, until you get to measure 13. You're starting moderately soft. Each note get a little louder, and then loud. The left hand's in the background. Moderately soft again. A little louder. Now. The measure 17 come down to moderately soft. This is both hands here. Moderately soft. Moderately loud, measure 21. You get the idea. And then the speed. Gently. Well, it's not a speed, that's mood. But a lot of times they tell you the mood of the piece, and from that you've got to figure out the speed. Of course, they do give metronome markings, but remember the speed we're talking about isn't necessarily the speed of the beat, it's the feel of it. And that feel produces whatever metronome marking it is. Gently, well, somewhere in there. Don't drag it, because then it just, ugh. The audience is thinking, is this ever going to get over? Or they're snoring by the time you finish it. I mean, this piece can put you to sleep, but don't drag it. You get some retardandos in there too in places. Look at measure 24, you slow down. And that fermata, you just hang on to that as long as it feels right. If I do it with a metronome, I'll hold it 4 counts instead of 2. But then after you're done with it, the all tempo, measure 25, back to what you were doing. And then a retardando at the end at 2, slow down. Here. Now they've added pedal here. If I pedal it just the way it's shown, this is what it sounds like. It's overlapping pedal, so the hands do their thing first and then the pedal. And when I change the pedal, it's after I play the notes and then I change it. So the pedal lags behind what the hands are doing. And this is sort of what it sounds like, at least at the beginning. If you're okay with that sound, go with it. I'd like to clean it up a little. Some of this mushiness I can handle at the beginning. But it's okay. I want to hear, I don't want to lose that first note. So I don't want to change the pedal, because if I do, I'll lose the note. And I don't want to. I want to keep it, so I keep the pedal down. I could finger pedal the note. That is, I could just hold it down with the finger. That way I could change the pedal and not lose it. See, I get it all. I could change the pedal every 2 beats. And on this second measure, I tend to raise it up on the 4th beat just to clear it out. But when I get to measure 9 here, I don't want all that. So I'm going to finger pedal the first beat of each measure. I'm going to hold it down with it here. I do this a lot in piano. And I'm going to change or lift the pedal up for the 8th notes. I don't need them. Actually, I'm going to lift it up for the last 3 8th notes is really. Change it there. I'll measure 10. Change it. Change. It's clear. It cleans it out a little bit, but I still get the overtones and connecting everything. So that's what I'm suggesting. You have to experiment with the sound. It's like a measure 21, or that line per measure you hear. I'm changing it with the harmony. And slow down. Here, listen to and then just enjoy the chord, and then lift the pedal and the hands together, a little silence before we go on. Then I'm measure 30 here. Change it on the every 2 beats. Well, it starts at measure 29 here. 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 Yeah. And the last two measures, you let it all ring out together. It's my suggestions on the pedal. You have to experiment. I know I'm complicating the pedal, but I think it's more important to complicate the pedal and get a good sound than it is to just blindly pedal whatever and get a yucky sound. Because if you're getting a yucky sound, it may be an indication that you're not really listening to the sound coming out of the instrument. You're hearing something in your head of what you want it to sound like, but it isn't the same as what's actually being produced. So there, you simply record yourself and listen to the recording. And if the recording is different than what you thought you played, you're not listening when you're playing. That's an important thing. Even the professionals have done that. So everybody does now. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to play both hands about the same. I'm going to pedal it like I suggested. I'll give us 4 counts. I can't slow down, and the fermata half note, I'm going to hold 4 counts instead of 2. This is just checking that you have the right notes and rhythms is all. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1. 3, 4,